Testing, testing. One, two, three. Hi, this is Rob McGowan with Life Radio, and I'm here with Jason Harris today. And how are you today, Jason?
I'm good, Rob. And how are you today?
So far so good. It's early yet, as they say.
Exactly.
So I'm calling up all the people that are running for council and having an interview with them for the radio, just so people can get an idea of where everybody stands. So I put together sort of a list of questions to ask everybody the same thing, so we can get an idea, the same basis for everybody. And so, first of all, you were on council before a few years ago, in 2008 to 2012. Is that right?
Yes, I was back in 2008. I was lucky enough to garner enough support in the city to get on the council and serve 4 years. At the end of the 4 years, our family was about to grow again to our second daughter. So it was time for me to step off and put more family time in. So now my youngest will be turning 9 this July. So after a few weeks of talking to friends and family, I decided to put my name back in to get back on to city council.
So is there anything during that time, those years when you were in there, that you remember that your biggest accomplishment, or something that you thought the city, or that you'd like to get back to, that maybe didn't get accomplished? Is there anything that stands out in your mind during that last tenure when you were in council?
I tell you, I thought we had a tremendous council from 08 to 12, and we had our lead, Jerry Cormier was our mayor, and we had a tremendous group around the table, and we went through some hard times the first couple of years. That's when the mills were shutting down, our tax base was decreasing, so we had a lot of issues to deal with. We got through that as a team of councillors, and we worked well together. And you know what, we did see progress, and the progress has continued since then. And not saying we started it. I mean, councils of the past and of the present. I mean, for everyone that puts their name in, that serve it, it's public life. And we live in the city of Miramichi, but we're a city of a little over 17,000 people. So it's great to see all the names in there, and you got to give credit to all the past councillors and all the current councillors. Our city, I think, is going in the right direction, and it's going to take more time, more determination, and lots of hard work by the next council to continue.
Okay, so that brings me sort of to my next question is, so what do you see as a vision going forward for like economic development? How do we bring more jobs in, and how do we grow the city?
Well, economic development is, you can either look out for private industry, or you can look within of big box stores, or there's different avenues you can look at. I mean, one way we have to increase our economic development, one avenue we have is the river. It's through tourism. It's through filling our hotels, our restaurants on the weekends. I mean, we have to bring people in here. We have to drive money. We have to get people to spend money here in Miramichi, and we have some great resources. One of our great resources is our people, and we have a lot to offer here. As for jobs, as a city council, I mean, you're always going to strive around the table to have your department managers be in contact with different companies, tell them why to come here. Do we have the right tax base? Do we have the right workforce? Which is a question right now, not just in Miramichi, it's right across Canada. We need people to be able to come in here, start a business, but they got to have a workforce to make their business successful. And we're hearing stories now of local businesses like I'm in, where sometimes it's hard to get the right person to fit that job. And so it's economic development is a long road. There's lots of opportunities in Miramichi. We've been fortunate with the federal government, with the payroll, with the gun registry. I mean, we've been very fortunate over the years of what we got since our mills closed. And you can look today, and our economy it's striving through COVID. We've never really had a downturn here. I mean, people in Miramichi are very resilient, and the people in Miramichi deserve, no doubt, we deserve more. We always deserve more, because it's the triangle in New Brunswick that we're always fighting against. So that's something I'll advocate for on council, and it's something I advocated in the past, and also when I'm off council. I like working with other organizations. I like working with other people, and I strive to make sure Miramichi is a better place at the end of the day.
Okay, well, given that, it seems like we have been growing. We have lots of jobs coming in, from the payroll center to the new place over there in the Pepsi plant that's growing, and there's a lot of jobs. But with that, growth, and there's a lot of things like housing gets shortage, and there's a lot of struggling going on. And we have a sort of an epidemic of drugs, like all cities that grow. It starts to. So, what's your vision on how we help the people that are falling through the cracks, and on the policing side of it as well, because they sort of come together hand in hand, and how you want to deal with that, or how you think the council should deal with that kind of issues.
Well, it's a problem that definitely we have in the city, we have in the outskirts of our city, and we have right through New Brunswick or Canada. The drug problem, it is a problem, and I mean it's a catch with our police force is Miramichi Police Force is one of the finest police forces, no doubt, in the province of New Brunswick. And they do their job. They go to work every day. They leave their families and they go to work. And the thing is, they want to get home to their families. As for the drug problem, yeah, we have to make sure we have the right resources out there. We do have some resources in the city now with different organizations. Can we increase that? Can we go to Franklin? Can we advocate to maybe get more resources here, to get more programs here? Housing with the youth house, the Miramichi Youth House. I mean, they're striving every day to put something on the river for housing for if it's people that are coming out of rehab, if it's mothers with young families that are looking, they need somewhere to go. Well, they're looking for that. And the city, I don't think there's any 15 councils running would say that they're against that. I mean, we have to do that. We have to make sure we provide for the people that are going through the cracks, and make sure they have a place to live, and make sure they're proud of Miramichi. And there's not one person I know that hasn't had someone in their family or a personal friend that has gone through these problems. And one thing about going through these problems, that person has to admit they have a problem, and they have to admit they want help. And once they admit that, it's easier then to get them help and get them through the crisis. And sometimes, you mentioned the police force like we did earlier. It's probably disheartening for them. Maybe week after week, they're looking at the same person that they're taking back or, taking into custody. And we have to get them people to admit that they have a problem. But until that time, you can have all the systems in place, and every court system and every youth house. And until they admit that, Rob, that's when it starts.
Okay. Well, it's sort of I've been asking everybody this question about faith being Life Radio. We talk about our upbringing. Were you brought up in a Christian home or a Catholic home or Muslim, any certain religion that sort of, the reason I asked the question, it's when we're looking at people seeing what is our moral stance? How do we make decisions based on things in our council and stuff like that? Do we have ideas of what sets us apart? What makes us feel like, okay, we're going to do this for the right reason, not because we want to be here to make money or whatever. But so
Yeah.
how does your religion play in it, or your faith, or whatever ideas you have about how life goes?
Yeah, well, I mean, I was born and raised in a little community outside here called Trowbrook, New Brunswick. It's my parents. We lived right beside my grandparents. Upbringing was the Calvary Baptist Church here in Newcastle. That's where we attended church right up through. And with faith, yes, I mean, you have to make sure you're thinking along them lines, and them lines have to go with common sense approach too. I mean, when you get in council, you're not there for the money. If anyone's there for the money, then they're there for the wrong reason. Dear goodness, it's the amount of hours you put in, and I mean, and one thing my grandfather always told me. I mean, you never mix politics with religion, and you don't talk about it. You don't talk about it at a party or at a gathering. I mean, it's two things you don't do about. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, the right people believe and have faith. And you know what? Faith comes with common sense, and I think that's a big thing I'm going to bring to council, Rob, is a common sense approach. And in my business past and present, I mean, we have to look at that. And so that's what I'm going to bring to city council. I'm easy to get a hold of. I'm ready to go that extra mile. I'm a very mild person, really, but you don't want to probably push me in a corner, because I do come out sometimes a little swifter than maybe I should. But it's the way you have to approach life right now, and life's changing. We saw yesterday the huge court case in the United States, and you know what? Everybody was on call down there. Just what impact would the decision be when it came out last night? And I bet you there's people down there today probably saying it's a wrong decision, and there's people saying it's the right decision. And the unrest did not take place last night, so we're happy for that. I mean, our world's a different spot than it was when when I was growing up. I'm going to be 48 here in a week and a half, and so you know what, we have to go along them lines too with that. So
That's true. Well, so on a specific, I tried to ask everybody, I looked for one specific question where I could get sort of a detailed answer. And the one I came up with is the multiplex. I asked everybody, what's your approach to the multiplex in the older buildings versus newer buildings? And sort of more the most detailed answer you can come up with, not exactly, but
yeah.
how your approach to it and why you think it's the best approach.
Well, the multiplex has been on the table for council probably since 2012. The last 3 councils have looked at it. They've approached it. There's a plan in place. It's been sent to the provincial government. It was over $60 million. Provincial government's come back in the last few months, asking the city to relook at it. They just, they're not interested in investing right now. Well, COVID, there's money going to be spent in COVID, and we saw this week in the budget in Ottawa that COVID, the money's not done to help people out. And you know what's that going to mean for infrastructure? Where's the money going to be? Right now, there is a new bilateral agreement with the feds and municipalities to maybe build a complex like the multiplex that we're talking about. But at the end of the day, we have to look at what that means to the tax dollar. We have we got a wide range of citizens in our city, and seniors to youth to middle income. We have to make sure that every dollar spent is the right dollar spent. And don't get me wrong, we do have facilities that are probably past their prime, and but we have to make sure if we're going to build something, first we got to make sure we build it right. We just don't piecemeal something like has happened in the past. If you're going to build a house, build your house. Don't build a bedroom this year and a bathroom next year and a bedroom the year after that. Build your house and build it right for the people. Make sure the people they see what they're getting their tax dollars spent on, Rob, and that's where we have to be. And there's been a lot of discussion of multiplex in the city, and if I met 12 people this morning, 6 would say they're for it, 6 would say they're against it, and everyone has a good reason. End of the day, the next council is going to have to make the decision what way we're going to want to go on it. And it's going to have to, it comes down to dollar and cents. It comes down to agreements with the federal and provincial government levels, and it comes down to the facilities we have now. And at that time, the public has to be in on that from A to Z. They have to make sure they have, we have everything covered as council. And if we have everything covered, we have the right facility, we have the right plan, we have our funding partners in place, and yes, you know what? It's something that can go ahead. But until that time, Rob, we're, right now, maybe the cart is before the horse. I don't know. And I don't know what our finances are at the city not being on council at this present time, but a few months in, I would have a better answer for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we like to sort of put everything together at the end. Seems like for some reason, it shows what a small city this is. I've come across every counselor at some point, either working with them or done plays with them or something. It's strange how I seem to know everybody, but I knew you a few years ago through Volkswagen and Toyota.
Right.
But it's a small place, and we all work together. So I appreciate the fact that you're running for council and trying to help our city in some way. So on an end note, I wanted to find out if what you want to end with and say. I give everybody the final say and let them just sort of give their statement of why they're best suited for council and why we should elect them in.
Thanks, Rob. So first, I'd just like to thank the other 14 counselors that have put their name in. I mean, it's a big commitment, not just for yourself, but for your family. And if you're in a career right now, you have to make some choices. So best of luck to everyone that has put their name in. And I think it's great that we have a great variety of people. And I think that's only serves better for our city. Going forward, Rob, I'm planning to be on council on May 10th. That's why anybody runs. I mean, that's the reason. And if it's May 10th or a couple of weeks later with everything going on with COVID at Edmonton, well, when the day comes that the results are released, that's the day that it will take place. Going forward, I let my record stand by myself. My 4 years back, 2008, 2012, I was a very approachable counselor at that time. I haven't really changed my ways. I worked well with the managers in the city. I'm not a person that's going to micromanage in the city. I'm voted by the people to oversee council opinions, and let the managers at the city manage their departments. And that's where I'm going to bring. I'm going to bring common sense, a business sense to council, and hopefully my experience in the past will play a key role in it. And not being from the city, I'm not a Newcastle, I'm not a Chatham, I'm not a Douglasfield, I'm not a Loganville guy. I've coached basketball for years. I've been involved with volleyball. I've been along with baseball, still playing hockey, and I coach kids in every avenue of this city. And I really enjoy that. And meeting their parents, and what really Miramichi is just one big happy family. Maybe not all the time, as like any family.
And you've been on the Chamber of Commerce for a number of years too, right?
Yes, I have. In the last 6 years, I've been on the chamber and also been on the Miramichi Airport Commission. 2 roles I hold dear, and 2 roles I met a lot of great people, and that only helped my experience going forward, Rob.
Okay, well, I want to thank you for coming on, taking the time for us to let us know where you're going and your ideas going forward, Jason. And we want to thank you from Life Radio for stepping up and taking a chance and going for it.
Thank you very much, Rob, and have a great day, and thanks for the interview.
No trouble. You have a great day, Jason. Thank you.